Hey everyone, we're back again live for another episode of the Two Black Eyes podcast, an improvised movie discussion inspired podcast where we watch a movie and then we chat about it a little bit, and then there's funny stuff that we notice or odd little things that are peculiar, and we'll do little scenes based on that. And yeah, I'm gonna stop myself from goading you into listening to this whole thing. I've been looking at the analytics, guys. Look, if you don't like the banner, just skip to the scenes. Or if you just like the banter, skip the scenes. See, there you go.
Stick around.
Let's raise these averages. Yeah, stick around. We have more than 23 seconds of content, guys. Thanks, YouTube. Get your attention spans together. I'm Neil. I'm the host. We have with us right now two of the other three improvisers. We have Jose.
Hey, quick, change the channel.
And Shelly. You don't need to introduce yourself. Everyone's already stopped watching. But do so.
I'm still here, and I was going to say Street Fighter quote, but I don't even know if that's what Jose did. Is that a quote?
Yeah, that's when they were gonna crash the truck into the tent with all the weapons.
Oh, the only one I could, because I Googled Street Fighter quotes, the only one I could remember was, "You've made me a very happy man, now I'm going to make you a dead man." Classic.
There are actually, and so not only are there so many classic quotes in here that blew my mind, and a couple that made no sense whatsoever that I really liked, I realized I quoted this movie and thought I had thought of the joke, but it was actually one of M. Bison's monologues. And I was like, oh shit, it came from Street Fighter, and I didn't even remember. So
Was it the one with the most important day in your life?
Yes!
For me, it was just a Tuesday.
Yeah! The day I visited your village was the most important day of your life. But to me, it was Tuesday. I'm not shitting you. I use it on Facebook all the time for articles of like crazy shit that happens in Florida. And I'll be like, in Florida, it was just Tuesday. Didn't know that came from this movie. So, thanks, Raul Julia. Rest in peace, buddy. I have to say, I don't want to say it, but I think this is not a great last movie. This was his last movie, technically.
Well, he did it for his kids, apparently, so there's that.
Well, I'll give him that. He did chew up the fucking scenery in this movie like crazy, but I'm not sure everyone else did the same. But let's talk about Street Fighter. Jose chose the movie, so in case you haven't seen it and you think, man, I probably already know what it's about. It's called Street Fighter. There's probably people betting on street fighting in some kind of underground fighting ring. Well, that's what seemed to me like what happened in the video game that it's based on. However, Jose, tell us what this movie's about.
Well, as you're saying, yeah, you're right. The video game from which this movie was inspired, mostly Street Fighter 2, and it's essentially this tournament that occurs around the world. You have representatives from different martial arts in different countries, and they get together and they street fight, and at the end they have to face the boss character, who is M. Bison. And that's roughly how it goes. Every character has their different backstories and reasons for being there. The movie doesn't really...
It's pretty much that, right?
Well, it takes a few liberties. Let's say that.
Like introducing an international peacekeeping organization?
Yeah, so apparently there is a warlord known as M. Bison, and he has control of Shadaloo City, which is in Southeast Asia, apparently. And the United Nations or Allied Nations, it's AN.
It's AN.
Yeah. Okay, so they
Trademark.
send Colonel Guile, who is American, as you can tell from his American accent, played by Jean-Claude Van Damme, in order to stop him. And essentially, hijinks ensue where you pepper in a lot of the characters from the game, assuming different roles. and a lot of them are doing things that have nothing to do with their backstory in the game. They are more or less just there to show up, say a couple of lines from the game, maybe fight poorly, and try to move the plot forward. That's pretty much it. I don't know. Honestly, I don't know that I'm missing any important details of the plot. I think we're just gonna have to take it as it goes.
That's pretty much it. Other than it does hinge on, of course, a Dr. Evil style plot of he's kidnapped
Hostages.
I thought they were refugees, even, which is like, wait, you captured refugees that no one wants to take into their country, and now you're saying you'll kill them if you don't get $20 trillion. And I'm like, who's going to give you the money? You didn't kidnap, like, the president of the United States. Just a bunch of fucking random people that came to Shadaloo, which I cannot take it seriously. His country's name is Shadaloo, which I'm okay, it's Shadow something, but the Lou just makes it sound dumb.
Wait, that's a country they were talking? Shadaloo is a country?
Yeah. And the capital is Shadaloo City.
Clever.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know, or maybe they weren't refugees. There were refugees somewhere in this movie. I don't remember. But he did have hostages, and he said he was gonna kill them if they didn't give him $20 trillion.
Yeah, and at the same, I guess if you missed it from the early part of the movie, every time he took in one of the hostages into the cage, he would be like, "All right, face me in case you want to like prove your worth or whatever," and he would just fight them and like break their neck, and it was just silly. It kind of just gives you an idea of how crazy they're making out this bad guy to be. And at the same time, he's using some of the hostages and turning them into super soldiers by showing them scenes of violence and pumping them with a bag full of mutagen, which is either fluorescent green or fluorescent red.
Perfect.
Yeah.
I did forget, yes, the super soldier angle where he was making super soldiers to conquer the world, not to be evil, because that ultimately leads to the best peace. Everyone listens to him or else. So that's Street Fighter plot. Jose, we're going to assume you like the movie because you chose the movie. Or there's reason I choose movies usually that I don't like or haven't seen. But
yeah, I like the movie. I don't think that it's a fine piece of work. It's one of these nostalgia pieces. I probably saw it when I was still in middle school one summer, and I was obsessed with Street Fighter, so obviously I ate the whole thing up. And I just end up randomly watching that movie every so often whenever I'm feeling down. It's just a good time.
Wow.
That's your feel-good movie, is Street Fighter?
Yeah, it's like the world is coming down. It's all chaotic out there, but at least in Street Fighter, we have a world that can be saved by Jean-Claude Van Damme.
Yeah, God, so... Yeah, he was so American. It's so bad.
It was a little painful, yeah.
Whoa.
I guess the older I get, the more errors I notice in the plot of the whole thing. But
yeah,
such is life.
I mean, yeah, I knew it was bad from the. I don't care for this movie. I can get into that. Shelley, I'm guessing you had not seen this beforehand because you have taste. And
yeah.
What did you think?
No, I had not seen it beforehand. I was trying to find it somewhere online. I was at the hairdresser's. I knew that was going to take a while, so I was like, I might as well watch this movie while I'm here. So I ended up watching the YouTube version, and I started it over a couple of times because I was like, there's something wrong. Everything's backwards.
Yep.
And I was like, is this, I mean, either like this is meant to be backwards or maybe Street Fighter. Like, I was like, maybe it's something like the world's backwards until the Street Fight. Maybe it's like a.
Wow, you thought they were so they looked so future forward. They were mementoing this whole movie.
Oh, I was like, what? Who in their right mind would put a movie on backwards on YouTube? And it's had like over 20 I don't know, 50, I don't know, it had a lot of downloads. Like people were watching it.
Yeah, and
So,
it's
yeah.
because YouTube has an algorithm, like Google built an algorithm, right, that will identify copyrighted material and take it down.
Mm-hmm.
And so if you, for instance, I do not condone this behavior, but if you want to watch the movie for free, in even worse than watching something on an airplane quality. So like watching something on an airplane, even the best movie on an airplane is like a 5 out of 10. Like I hate it. It's so bad. You can't hear. It's weird. The sound's shitty. It's a tiny screen. Garbage. I mean, on an airplane screen. If you're like on your phone or tablet, it's probably fine. This was reversed and zoomed in.
Yep.
In order to stop people from being able to or the program from recognizing the material. Now, that makes it even less watchable than if you paid the $2.99 to watch the movie, but I had seen it, so I wasn't going to do that. I was not going to pay the $2.99. So you'll often find that. It is indeed, yes, not a Memento-style choice by the director. It was some, pirate plan to find a way around the copyright takedown system.
Like I would have understood if it had only been like 8 downloads, but there's like, I can't remember, but it's like 20,000, 200, I don't know, there's a lot.
So how did this get made? Did this movie as an episode? So my guess is a lot of their fans were like, yeah, I'm not paying for that, but I'll watch it. Really shit. It's really hard to watch on the YouTube, I will say. Yeah. I actually think you should pay the $2.99 because at least it's like you can tell what's happening in many scenes.
Yeah, I was a little confused in a lot of scenes because sometimes it would just be the person's chest.
Yeah,
and I had to guess who was speaking. So
those chests are very recognizable, though.
Eventually I got used to their clothing, so I was like Jean-Claude Van Damme, little outfit, and the bison guy had his gray little suit on thing. So yeah, it worked. It was fine. The movie itself, yeah, I don't know that I would watch it again.
It's hard.
I don't know if it's going to be my go-to feel-good movie, where I'm just feeling down and Street Fighter is going to be the thing that lifts me up.
I think I should do
you
that.
You guys have no souls.
I'm gonna remember that. I think we should do our feel-good movie as our next movie. But I don't know if we've banned horror since some people are not horror fans. But my go-to movie is a horror movie. It's zombies. It's not that bad. Yeah. Here's the weird thing about this movie. To me, this is the first thing I noticed, other than the fact of the plot just being fabricated out of thin air and being quite insane. So almost every character from Street Fighter 2, which apparently is what it's based on, but you can't tell that. Go read like the Wikipedia for Street Fighter 2. It did not suggest any of that. What I don't get is like every character's in it, but there isn't any fan service. So the fan service is just that character's name exists and E Honda is a sumo wrestler. Or Ken and Ryu are wearing karate gis while doing arms transactions with a multinational arms dealer. So like, that's the only fan service. They do not say their catchphrases for like, I mean, obviously it for some reason was set in a realer world where you can't shoot energy bolts out of your hands. But even like some of the realistic stuff that could have been in there wasn't in there. So like Vega, I remember like very specific, like first of all, pulling Vega in is like, that's kind of a deep cut. It was a hard fight in the game. But he had like a very specific, he'd like clash his claws together and it would make this like zoom zoom sound. And every time he did it, it made me want to kill myself because I knew I was going to lose that fight right after that because like it was really hard to beat him. They could have at least had that noise in there, right? Or did they have like no rights to any Street Fighter material other than the names. Because there's a lot of shit in the movie that the only thing I think they did that was super like the game was M. Bison did eventually have an absurd reason to shoot Superman style into you, like arms first, jump, fly, which was a move from the game. But that's it.
Superconductor electromagnetism.
That's right. You might have heard of it. First of all, we're getting to the end already, but yes. His line after it's superconductor. First of all, he said, "I thought you're a man of honor who fought hand to hand." He then levitates and says, "It's just superconductive electromagnetism. You might have, I'm sure you've heard of it." As if that is somehow an explanation for why he's completely not fighting hand to hand at all anymore. What? How does that even have any logical sense? What happened?
Yeah, he's a pretty big goofball there, I guess. Yeah, he was definitely an interesting, very intense take on the character, I guess. In the game, he's kind of just like this very powerful person, and which has supernatural powers. I don't think he ever explains the fact that it's electromagnetism of any sort. Yeah. So definitely some liberties with the characters. I thought the one funny thing was that I guess they made the Chun-Li character have this, which they integrated into the game, this backstory where her father was actually killed by M. Bison. But nowhere in the game is it that she actually became a reporter for several decades and was hiding her martial arts training. And in order to do that, she was hiding behind a sumo and a boxer. It's a pretty convoluted plan if you think about it.
I think that makes perfect sense.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
I think it was really prescient of her to put together a 20-year-long con.
You have to look at the long term, though. Like, I mean, 6-week plan, that's not really going to work. She was in it for the long haul.
Yeah.
She knew from a child that she was going to be a reporter, get to the bad guys, defeat them eventually.
Yeah. And I will say for a second, okay, this was my question, right? So, okay, I have an idea for a scene. Question is, do we want to jump into a scene, or do we want to talk about Ming Na Wen, which I would like to talk about? We should jump into a scene.
We should jump into a scene, yeah.
Okay, it was before that. What was that? Oh. All right, so we've almost got the terms worked out. Okay, so for this match, we're not doing MMA. We're just gonna do boxing, straight boxing, regular boxing gloves. Both fighters have agreed to that. All right, which is little details we got to work out. Now, this is just boxing, hand-to-hand combat. I'm not sure. So I hear from the other boxer, guns are not allowed, even though it is simple pressure-induced combustion. I know he's heard of it. He understands how bullets work. But that doesn't make it hand-to-hand still, just because there's a word for the science behind what you want to use. Do we understand each other?
I mean, sure, you can call it whatever fancy terms you like. I like to call it airsoft. I don't understand why that's not allowed. There's no like gunpowder involved. It's just there's no chemical reaction really. It's more of a pressure trigger, which is the same pressure that I would be applying from my fist into his rib cage, except it's this piece of metal that shoots out very strongly this projectile and hopefully injures my opponent. It really is just an extension of myself. I don't understand why we're having this conversation.
Rebuttal?
My fighter doesn't feel like it's fair that you get to use these extraneous forces to try to defeat him. He's not on board with this, and I don't think he's going to fight. So
yeah, I believe the first term of the contract is and quote an honorable hand-to-hand kerfuffle. And so I don't believe I believe the legal definition bars any modern technology in that, as kerfuffles were historically brought about in the 14 to 1500s.
So
I don't.
Why are we even having this conversation? He's not going to fight you. End of story. Let's just move on. Can't we get anyone else?
Wait. We've been negotiating for hours. He's just not going to fight him now. What changed?
He's not prepared to fight something like this. He's only prepared to use his hands. He's not going to fight him. And I mean, the show's like in an hour. What else?
Okay. Well, so okay. Are we maybe? What about? I'll throw it out there. So you want to do airsoft? What if we compromise? Yeah. Both of you get Nerf guns. It's less powerful than an airsoft gun. Both of you will get one Nerf pistol, 6 rockets for it, or missile projectiles.
I mean, while I do have experience with Nerf guns and Nerf type equipment, I don't feel like this is an equivalent exchange. It's more of a downgrade. I feel like it essentially handicaps the type of training that I have endured for the past 20 years in order to get into this match. I feel like it's an unfair situation here. I mean, Nerf guns are okay, but honestly, I don't know. You might essentially take away my arm, my left arm, really.
I mean,
That's what we're trying to do, is take away your freaking arm. Can you not just fight without your arm? Is that not a thing? Like, can you just take it off?
So, like, I don't understand. As in, like, I just take the airsoft gun and I hit people with it? Or is it a different style of martial arts that you're describing?
No, I'm just suggesting you take your arms, you take everything that's not human about you off, have the fight, and then do whatever you want after.
I don't know. This is highly unorthodox, to be perfectly honest. Every other fight I've had before this has been pretty accepting of this.
Yeah, but okay, let's be fair.
Sometimes your opponents die.
Well, this is a street fighting tournament. Everything happens on the street, so I mean, people die. Yeah.
To be fair, I will say, as arbitrator, you haven't fought the world champion before, so I think there's a little difference between normal street fights and fighting the world street fighting champion. I mean, he even overthrew a country, like a ruthless dictator. So, like, it's a little different. And so maybe what if you removed the airsoft gun and we gave you like one of those boxing glove scissor mechanisms? So it'd give you extra reach. So that's a compromise. And you technically wouldn't only be fighting one-handed. How about that? That seems like a compromise.
Okay. I'm willing to play. Let's do it. Why not?
Okay, so we've agreed to the world champion fights as normal with boxing gloves, no kicking, boxing rules only, and the airsoft gun is replaced by accordion style boxing glove a la Bugs Bunny.
Cut to the end of the fight.
Oh, ladies and gentlemen, a major upset. The world champion defeated by what looked to be an incredibly powerful jab from an accordion-style boxing glove novelty trick item. Let's go to the. We got to go to the winner. Sir, I've heard there was a lot of negotiations. You didn't even have your signature airsoft gun.
Yeah, I didn't. This was a tough match, but we did it. I have to thank everyone, my family here, my son. He's watching. He's right there in the middle of the crowd. He's very proud of me. He's actually the boy that lent me the equipment over here. He had one spare in his room. So this one is for you, Kobe. I did it for you.
Oh, I have to ask. I mean, how did you get this through? That boxing glove had at least a 9 to 10 foot reach, and it looked like it was extremely powerful.
Yeah, it's got a bit of a modified mechanism. Nothing but just a little air pressure built into the engine over here. But you know, essentially just skill, innate skill, really.
I have a question. I'm a reporter with the New York Times. Quick question. How do you feel every time after you kill your opponent and you see their lifeless body lying on the ground?
I feel you know, like these things are gonna happen. That's why we have insurance. That's, you know, we sign a contract before the beginning of the fight, and casualties will happen. I mean, you can't make a pancake without breaking some eggs, right? Right.
Wasn't it you, though, last month who was seen mourning on TV because your brother passed away?
Yeah, I didn't really want that to be made public. That
I
did
mean,
happen.
and wasn't it a street fight that killed him because somebody confused him with you?
Yeah, that's exactly what happened. Unfortunately, he didn't have his flamethrower on him that time, so he couldn't really defend himself.
And isn't it true that you said that fighting should be banned from here on out?
Well, yeah. After today, that's perfectly fine by me. I am happy. Let me just make this announcement. I am happy to retire undefeated. Let's call this off. Very brutal stuff.
Man walks up with an envelope. Congratulations, champion. Here's your winnings. $100. Good luck, sir. We'll see you next time.
Thanks.
And scene.
All that for $100.
People died for $100 street fight.
That was smart. That was good.
Yeah, I was like, I think we gotta call this. We're getting there. We're getting there. So
yeah.
I like the end. I figured it was a nice punch. Pun intended at the end. To be like it's just completely like the dumbest amount of money.
It could have also been like a coupon to IHOB. Sorry.
That would have been hilarious. Like for like all you can eat pancakes would have been a good right. Like because like you can't make pancakes without breaking a few eggs. Yep. Although I really wanted to jump in with like, what about but I couldn't remember. Hungry Jack instant pancake mix. You only eat an egg if you're gonna make waffles. Just saying.
No eggs were harmed during the filming of this commercial.
Yep, that's right. No eggs were broken to make those pancakes. Wink. We are not sponsored by Hungry Jack, but if they'd like to, I enjoy your pancakes and your syrups. So maybe give us a few bucks.
100 to be exact.
I will take $100. I'll split it between, well, in this case, it's the three of us because somebody didn't make it today.
You snooze, you lose.
That's right. That's a sweet, sweet $8 extra. Right? Am I right?
Yep, yeah, $8 extra and 33 cents.
God, my brain isn't working today, guys. I did some yard work and it was
so.
Anyway, Ming-Na Wen. Okay.
Yes. Voice of Mulan.
Yes, voice of Mulan. Shit, I don't remember her character's name from Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D., but super badass in Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. And Dr. N.E.R., that's how I knew her originally. So here's what I thought. Here was my question. Was this her first thing, like acting job, and she was just a really inexperienced actor? Or did somehow, I don't know who the director of Street Fighter was, but was he so bad that he even made like Ming-Na Wen a horrible actress? Like she talks like when she's reading the news as the reporter, she's like, and today M. Bison wanted to do this, and he did this and something. We will be back with more. And I'm like, she sounds weird. It was not reporter cadence whatsoever. So I thought maybe this was like a really like early thing. And then I looked, this was in 94. And that's like right before she got her ER job. And in ER, she was like a real person who actually could act, as well as, she was in Joy Luck Club before that.
Yeah, great.
That's where I know her from. I thought she looked familiar.
So yeah, she's like actually like a good actress in anything I've seen her in. And then in this movie, it's almost as if somehow this movie even made like a very quality actress like complete garbage.
I think she just didn't care. I think she was.
You think she just roboted it for the paycheck?
I think she was just in this movie and just was like, "This is such a mess." No offense, Jose. I'm just not gonna.
Fine, I've heard it from the rest of the world. It's okay. I guess what she was trying to do in the reporting was supposed to like be giving lines with a certain level of intensity, and I might be reading too much into the movie, but I thought that this intensity was supposed to be like a display of like her actual like feelings towards this guy. And
see, I didn't get intensity. I got I am robot, hear my news. That's what I heard.
You wanted more of a Keith Olbermann delivery or something?
I wanted her to sound like a human being and not an alien who watched. I don't even know. I don't know. It didn't sound natural, but not only that, it didn't sound like a reporter. Like that, it was weird.
Maybe she was jealous because I read that Jean-Claude Van Damme and Kylie Minogue were having an affair.
That's what I wondered. Is there any other reason for Kylie Minogue to be in this movie?
No, why was Kylie Minogue? She's a singer, right? Was she an actress?
Yes,
she was a singer.
Do the locomotion, motherfuckers.
Yeah, so I know that they did a lot of the filming in Australia, I want to say. Queensland, Australia, and apparently the director was just looking for people to cast, and apparently she was big at that time there, so.
Yeah, she was big into Jean-Claude Van Damme's dong. So wait, they were having an affair. I was like, there is no reason for Kylie Minogue to be in this other than Jean-Claude Van Damme is sleeping with her.
Yeah, I read an article just before we did this podcast because I didn't listen to the podcast that Jose sent with all the scandals behind the movie, which I'm hoping you'll tell us about. But all I read was that they had an affair and started off with a beautiful kiss, according to Jean-Claude Van Damme, and it was sweet, sweet lovemaking. I believe those are the words he used.
Come on, JCVD. We don't need that detail. We don't want JCSTD going on here. I don't need it. I don't need that.
Yeah.
Wait, who was he married to at the time?
That's what I was going to ask. Was he ever married, or is he ever...
Like, who was he cheating on in that case?
I have no idea.
Because if Ming-Na Wen was like, hey, I wanted to be with Jean-Claude Van Damme, like, come on. You're better than that. Like, maybe not, I don't know. She wasn't that big at that time. All I know is right now, she could definitely get any guy hotter than Jean-Claude Van Damme. Like, so hard. Kylie Minogue, maybe not. Who cares about her? She's like, she did the locomotion in that one song in like the 90s. I don't know.
Yeah, so there was definitely some controversies attached to this movie. You know, the affair was one thing. Apparently, some of the other filming took place in Bangkok, and apparently a lot of the cast and crew were engaging in very special massage sessions frequently during the time of filming. Yeah, apparently the stunt coordinator that they hired did not have enough time to properly teach people their stunts and the martial arts movements that they were supposed to be doing. And so it was more like they arrived at the filming location, and the day of, they were already filming scenes. Time was that tight that they couldn't like train anyone properly. So if the fighting is a bit subpar, I mean, really unnoticeable. If it's a bit subpar, there's a reason for it.
Well, I figured there was a reason for it, you know.
Because they were in Bangkok?
No, they just didn't have proper
Yeah,
time.
it was awful.
Oh,
So okay, the affair, by the way, was he was divorced. He divorced. Oh wait, never mind. That was 92. Gladys Portuguese, which is not just Gladys Portugal or Portuguese as her name. Then they remarried in 99. So I don't know if they're still together or not, but so I don't know if that counts as an affair if they were divorced, but anyway, yes.
They were on a break.
Yeah, exactly. Come on. So interesting. It's very so like the massage sessions were like a distraction. That was the problem. They were like, these guys are just getting jerked off too much. We can't do it. Like, we can't film because these guys are just getting whacked off all day. Like, that's the problem. Like, get your shit together. You're professionals, right?
oh.
Yeah.
All right, let's cut to a scene.
There was something in there.
I'm gonna go. Let's do. I'm gonna go. Okay, you guys are the Harlem Globetrotters. You've had a 1-month booking, good money, great money at this Hong Kong casino, but I don't know what's going on, like what's happening, but you lost last night.
No, man. We didn't lose because we really won deep inside.
Wait, okay, let's explore that. How did you not lose when the score was 98-14? That's normally the other way around.
That's not a loss, man. If you feel it, and you feel like you won, and you walk off the court, and you get to do what you really came there to do, you pretty much won. You know what I'm saying?
Okay, and you didn't come here to win as the, like, I thought that's what, no, am I crazy? Aren't you here to win and do trick shots and do cool stuff? Woo! And then you do, like, the end of the leg, and then, layup.
And we did all that, man. We were
No,
there.
you didn't. Not one of you did a layup. And not that that's even impressive, but you went under your leg and then you just threw the ball into the crowd. And I was like, what is happening? The Washington Generals have never won a game against you. And there's a reason. It's scripted. And somehow you've lost it. You lost a scripted basketball game. Literally, guys, tell me, what's going on here?
We just wanted to get out of there, okay? We were just done. We just wanted to get out of there, and we wanted to do what we came here to do.
Okay, what did you come here to do?
You really want to know?
Well, obviously, because we may not get paid. Last night was a disgrace.
We came here to get head massages. That's what we came for.
Okay, this sounds... Wait. Okay,
Dude,
be more specific.
Awesome.
Be more specific. Head, like normal head or like downstairs head?
Dude, it's like head massages. That's what we came here for. It's freaking awesome.
But I mean, you gotta still play your game. So like, let's say the head massages are great. You don't even have to practice. You could literally get head massages 22 hours out of the day, but for the 2 hours you're playing, you You gotta beat the generals.
That's all I can think about when I'm on the court is when's my next massage. I can't think about anything else.
What?
It
Okay.
consumes me.
What about
It's
you?
who I am now.
Okay. Well, that's one of you. Okay. What about you? What's your excuse? Are y'all getting head massages too?
Well, honestly, I really wanted to get head massages with the boys too, but I, I've been a bit stressed out. I'm a bit frustrated. I feel like I gotta come clean. While these guys have been getting all those head massages, I have had an extramarital affair with Paula Abdul.
Dude, I can't believe you just admitted that. You asked us all to keep it secret.
I know, but it's just been weighing down on me, and I can't take it.
When your wife called last night, we all covered for you.
No, you don't understand. We have been separated for about a year, so we are officially on a break, as far as I can tell. But
you know, tell us that part.
Yeah, I really don't go too much into my life story, but I feel like I have to come clean with it. I haven't been getting enough rest. Paula, she's very dynamic, let's say.
Very nice way of putting it, based on my.
It all started that time that she came to our game in Toronto. And it all started.
She actually did I know she choreographed the halftime dance. Even it was a very good dance. I was impressed with.
It was fine. It didn't have DJ Scat Cat with her, but.
Is that why you disappeared after that game?
That's exactly.
When we all went out, you weren't there. Is that why?
Yeah. So I was essentially leading a double life, trying to hide away from the public while I'm with Paula.
You're trying to hide from us too, man. Your team.
I know. I'm sorry. I said that I would join you in the head massages, but Paula has needs, and what Paula wants, Paula gets.
Paula's here. She's here in Hong Kong with you.
Well, she does have her own private play, and she did decide to follow, and that's what happened, Coach.
Well, where is she now? Why didn't she come to the game? Couldn't you impress her by playing basketball really well and doing all those trick shots for her during the game?
Yeah, I could have done that. She's seen most of my moves.
You could have done it. Yeah. Well, then why didn't you?
I don't know. I just
literally broke the contract that we had.
I don't know. It would have just been weird to have her here, and we kind of just have this little pets, lovers kind of relationship, and everyone would have seen through it, and it would be out there. And you know what? Now it's out there. So I'm a sinner.
You know what? I'm going to go ahead and say I'm disappointed in all of you, and not just because of this whole losing somehow last night, which we cannot do tonight.
Dude, it's not gonna happen again, okay? We're head massaged out. There's nothing left to massage, okay?
Are you sure? Have you had one of the foot massages? Shit, why did I tell you that?
Oh shit, I'm missing out? They massage other parts of your body?
No, it's terrible. No, don't get one.
No,
don't get it. There's not there.
Do you think they could do my hands too? Because look, I've got all these boils and stuff from handling the basketball.
Oh, okay. Well, sure. I'm sure they do a mani-pedi. So do that. Yeah, definitely do that. Don't book a foot massage. They don't soak your feet in delicious smelling jasmine water, nor do they totally get in there with the strongest hand. I feel like their hands could crush steel, but you don't need it. Your feet are fine. Your head massaged out so you can pay attention to the game.
Dude, check out my feet. Look at this. Look.
Oh, God. Oh, those look really tense.
I can't, he's out there getting girls like Paula Abdul, and I can't get anyone. Because, when I get naked with a girl and she sees my feet, that's it. It's over. Wow. Game over, man.
Wow, this is getting a little personal. I know we're supposed to be like a family, but that's ladies literally are turning you down. You're a millionaire.
Yeah, but it's like once they see the bros, they just like leave.
Guys, I'm sorry to interrupt. I just checked my phone and Paula wants a pizza, so I gotta go. I gotta go. See ya.
Wait, what? No. Damn it.
He is so whipped. Anyways, back to my feet and my problems.
You know what? You guys just. You know what? Forget it. Let's just cancel the game tonight. I know a foot place. I'll send you there. I'm going to go to the all nude review.
Do you want to go get some head massages after?
If that's code, then yes. And scene.
And scene.
I don't know what that ended on, but I don't know where these scenes are going, which only reiterates my point of me initiating scenes does not work well as me participating in scenes.
I thought that was great. That was great.
I thought it was fun.
It was fun. I think we actually had a pretty good game going of like the different. At the very end, I didn't know where to go with it, so that's where I decided to like punt to like a different like. Oh, I also know about these other things that might tempt you. So
yeah,
like, oh, why did I say it? Like so, yeah. Which, by the way, I don't know, when I was in Shanghai, that was a whole thing, and like everyone was like, "You got to get this foot massage." Number one, yeah, the foot part was fine. But then while your feet are soaking, they do your shoulders. I am not kidding you. The next day, I looked like a fucking
Street Fighter?
like interrogation victim. Yeah. Like I looked like I was beaten severely upon the shoulders and chest. They were digging in with elbows with like their whole body weight. And I literally like showed one of the guys that from work that was with us, like I lifted my shirt up and he like gasped. It was black and blue. This whole area was just black and blue. He's like, "What the fuck happened?" And I'm like, "They just like went to fucking town with their elbows." I don't know, like that didn't feel good at all. It hurt. And they even told us the word for like softer, and it did not work. I said softer, and it did not get softer.
Does it sound like harder?
No.
Language? No.
They were too distracted by like the fact that I have hair on my legs and thought it was like I was some kind of Sasquatch. So that was amusing.
Maybe it's kind of like when you tell a chef to do a burger well done and they refuse to listen.
Yeah. So
they're like, I know how this burger's supposed to be done.
Yeah.
Be careful on Chinese foot massage, because in some of them you really got to have someone that's willing to stand up for you, that's a local, who can be like, please don't destroy his arms and shoulders. It hurts so bad. I hurt so bad the next day. Yeah, so it was kind of funny.
That's awful. I've been to Bangkok a couple of times, and the last time I went, I was on a tour group. So we did Vietnam, Cambodia, Thailand, and there's these two guys on my tour group, really nice guys. I liked hanging out with them, but then they told us the real reason they were there. So they weren't doing, I don't think, to my knowledge, they weren't doing anything in Bangkok, but they were going further south in Thailand because apparently there's prostitutes for $8, which was their whole purpose of coming on the trip.
But wait a minute, in Bangkok, wouldn't they just be like $100? Like $8? I'm here for the deal.
I mean, these guys are from Canada, so it's like they spent all this money to fly. Wow. And I suppose, obviously they wanted to be there, I guess, and see what they wanted to see and do what they wanted to do. But yeah, when they told us that, I was just like, I'm not sure what to say to that.
I thought you were going to say they were like, have you heard of Thai lady boys?
Oh, no. There's like some island they were going to where all services were literally $8. So they were really excited about that.
It's called Caligula Island.
I don't know what it was called. I was just like a little
That's
disturbed.
so weird, man. That's weird. Yeah.
It was called the Westworld.
Yep.
I assume they had fun after that. I don't know. I'm
Gross.
Facebook friends with them. I have no idea.
Well, you might ask, how their AZT treatment's going. Kia!
Maybe they'll listen to our podcast and realize I'm talking about them.
Yeah. You're gonna be like, that's us, dude.
That's totally us. We did that.
Let's go back.
Yeah, so the one guy, the older brother, he'd been there several times. That was his thing. And he was taking his younger brother there with him.
Great. It's a great plan.
It was a really solid plan. And there's another guy on the trip who was like 21, so he became friends with them and went on to that little island. And
I just feel like there are some things in life that you get what you pay for, like wine. Usually a more expensive wine is generally in most cases going to be a little better than really cheap wine. I feel like prostitutes are the same way. An $8 prostitute, I'm not sure you want that prostitute.
Clearly, they have streamlined the process, Neil. They don't have any frills.
It's the Southwest of
the
prostitution. They're like, look, it's direct hub to hub. It's all on an island. We've gotten all of our lube on spec, so if the price goes up, we make money that we buy in bulk.
Yeah, I don't know. That's an interesting subject.
Maybe it's so cheap because they get all their condoms for free. Maybe they are the ones that make it because like all condoms are produced in Thailand for some reason.
Are they really? I didn't know
a lot
that.
of them. A lot of brands. It's weird.
So they're saving the dollar on condoms.
Yeah, well, they're like, we just steal them from like the factory because who gives a fuck? No one notices out of the millions. So all those condoms are free, so we can charge $8, baby. That's all profit.
Yeah.
I don't know. That's weird though, and I don't think if someone told me that they were an $8 prostitute, I'd be like, score. That's a great deal.
Yeah. So. Yeah. Speaking of rigor mortis, what about that scene in Street Fighter where, Guile gets shot, supposedly by Ken, as they are escaping with Sagat and Vega and Ryu from the jail. And, he takes a hit. Everyone sees it. Apparently it's televised. It's important enough that it's like this world announcement. Colonel Guile is dead.
Yeah, which definitely happens.
Yeah. And so Chun-Li decides to sneak back to find the homing device that she planted, because she plants a homing device as the truck is leaving. And she decides to use this very good camouflage in daylight, which is a completely black outfit. And and she sneaks back into the base. And so she finds Guile there. And he's under a sheet, but quickly he reveals that he's alive. What was he doing there that entire time? Just waiting for her to like uncover I don't understand what the point of that was.
Yeah, like why would he sit there for hours? Like couldn't he just get right back up? Or did they have to
enough time to deliver a news speech between, the killing and her showing up?
I mean, I guess though, right? Like he'd have to like wait long enough for her to tell the world, like he had to wait for her to do the news story. Now I don't know why he'd be lying under a sheet, not just sitting in a chair or something. It's like that guy. Like, did you guys see the reporter that faked his own death to catch Russian assassins?
Yeah, I heard about that. Yeah.
Which is fucking amazing. Like, I kind of agree that it kind of was insensitive to his family and friends, but literally, he was anti-Putin and had said a bunch of stuff and published articles. So someone in Russia had put a hit out on him that some international security agency found out about. So they set up that the people that assassinated him killed him, but they didn't. So then when they went to collect the money, they somehow intercepted something and caught the people that tried to kill him. But he wasn't dead, but they reported he was dead, and he was a reporter. So like everyone thought he was dead for an entire day. And then at the announcement where they said, like, by the way, we caught these guys, he walks out. And like they had cameras from like whoever, like at his office, and like all the people were like crying and freaking out, and his wife had no fucking idea. She thought he was actually dead. So they're like, we had to make it totally real. So yeah, completely faked his death to catch.
So you think he was lying in the morgue that entire time?
Yep, with a sheet over him. Yep. I guarantee that's what apparently you do. That's what you do. That so weird. I mean, there's a lot of stuff we were talking about. That makes no sense. Why were they trying to sell Sagat toy weapons? Like, what? Like, if you're going to be an arms dealer, number one, you could give them broken ones or shit that doesn't work. But it seemed like they were actual arms dealers. Like, they weren't good guys in disguise. They weren't trying to set them up. They just wanted to give them garbage and get the money, I guess, to scam them. But, like, why did they think that would work? No one's going to check that the guns you're selling them by the hundreds are actual guns at all. They don't even have to fire it. You can just pick it up and figure that out.
Yeah, I think so Sagat discovered the weapons before he made the deal, which is why he noticed that they were fake. But in that case, you might as well just had crates full of hay. To be perfectly honest, it had to be like toy weapons for added effect for the 2 minutes between realizing, hey, here are the weapons, and wait a second, this is a toy.
Yeah, like it wasn't just an extra fuck you. Instead of empty crates, they're like, it's fucking kids' guns. Eat my dick. Give me money. Like, they just did it to be assholes.
Yeah, I think when Guile was reading their, data sheet or whatever, he was like, oh, they're like upstart weapons dealers, which I assume that they hadn't been doing this for a very long time.
I mean, clearly, because they're terrible at it.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. That was the other one that related to that. That was one of the funniest lines that I thought was like, isn't that the opposite? Like no one cared. No one cared to read the script. But they wanted to infiltrate Sagat, and someone was like, oh, he's super careful. He doesn't make new friends. And so Jean-Claude Van Damme / Guile.
Sorry.
Corey attack. Is like, well, if he doesn't trust old friends, new friends, maybe he'll trust new enemies.
This is common knowledge.
And which, first of all, that makes no sense. But wouldn't it be if he doesn't trust new friends, maybe he'd trust old enemies because he knew they screwed him over. They're not new, he knows them.
Wait, say the quote again? I'm trying to understand this. If you don't...
So Ken and Ryu, like, sold him the fake guns, right? And he knew it and was like, fuck you, assholes. I knew you were fucking cheating me. So then Jean-Claude Van Damme was like, okay, we'll infiltrate him. I'll, like, befriend him or whatever. And they're like, he doesn't make new... I think Chun-Li was the one who's like, he doesn't make friends. So, like, new people don't get in. He only does shit with people he's worked with. So then Jean-Claude Van Damme's quote is, well, maybe if he doesn't trust new friends, he'll trust new enemies.
It works because it's opposites.
And
that's very deep.
But it should be old enemies. Because they're not new enemies. They're not new people he's never met. They fucked him over once. So aren't they old enemies? Am I crazy?
I think the bigger issue is that he's thinking this person's going to trust.
Okay, well, I will also admit
instead of his
someone that could help him out, he won't trust. But then people that fucked him over, that's who he's going to trust.
Well, I don't know. I don't know if Jean-Claude Van Damme or what the saga got. I don't know. Someone's got issues.
Yeah, and you know Sagat does end up trusting them, and he takes them to the compound. But then there's the whole scene where Chun-Li and E Honda and Balrog have infiltrated this compound or whatever, and they're trying to destroy all the weapons. And for some reason, they walk into the discussion, Ken and Ryu do, where Sagat and Bison are having issues because Bison is going to pay for the weapons in Monopoly money, essentially. So they're like, "Oh yeah, you guys shouldn't be fighting because there's spies everywhere." And obviously, they discover that the weapons have been, rigged. There's been an explosion. Everything is set ablaze, and they continue to trust them regardless of that. So clearly, gaining the trust of the bad guys was not a very difficult operation anyways. It's just, you just have to say the right stupid things at the right times.
Yeah, I mean, it sounds really easy.
Yeah, very good movie.
It's very profound on so many levels. So I thought Jean-Claude Van Damme character, Guile, had a crush on that reporter. I can't remember her name. But I thought that's why he was acting so weird around her, because he liked her.
Yeah,
I guess I completely misread that, but
he did say at the end that he would grant her an interview if she is wearing that dress that Bison put her in, which was not very tactful.
Huh.
Yeah.
I mean, okay, so that was another funny thing, because it seemed kind of like Bison when he's like, take them to the jail, like whatever, and he's like, take her to my quarters. I've got something special in store for her or something. But instead of like showing up and being like, okay, time for like forced sexy time, it was more like he was like, I legitimately brought you to my quarters to fight you. Like, all right, beautiful young lady. You think you're so tough? Well, let's fight. And it's like, why would you do that? Why did you think she was like out to get you as like some badass fighter? Like, what?
It's like he knew about her secret plan.
Oh, that's right.
He knew about her 20-year plan.
How does Bison know everything?
He's Bison.
He's that good.
He's so good.
So good.
Yeah. There was something else that I thought about that I was like, wait, that didn't make any sense either. But a lot of things didn't make sense, so it could be anything. Yeah, I think just overall, nothing made sense in this movie. Oh, that was it. M. Bison's plan is legitimately to take over the entire world with super soldiers, right? That's his plan.
Mm-hmm.
Mm-hmm.
Yet, this is where you get a weird disconnect of like, but you wouldn't need to do that, you moron. What's his name? Shit. The guy who escaped with the guy with the eye patch.
Vega.
No, the black guy who was like an arms dealer. Who's the black guy at the end that got away? DJ. Was he so DJ is like, this is fucking like Bison bucks, you fucking idiot. And he's like, well, once I take over the world, $1 Bison will be worth 5 British pound, because the Bank of England will say it is when I tell them to. And I'm like, wait. Why would the Bank of England set a fucking exchange rate if you own the world? All of the money is your money, and you set it at whatever value you want. Why would you go like, now Bank of England, I'm in charge of everything. You tell everyone this is worth 5 pounds. And it's like, that's pointless. You literally are in charge of the world now. Just say it's worth what it's worth.
Or create your own currency. Just have everyone use bison dollars. Isn't that the point?
Well, that was the thought. He was going to make everyone use bison dollars,
You don't
and then
need pounds.
Then you just say, okay, well, whatever. Something costs £5, so now it's $1 bison dollar.
Yeah.
Okay, I think I've got something. All right. Well, Jimmy, seems like you have done well. You cut the lawn, you did the dishes, you cleaned up your room. What else have you done? You took out the dogs. As I promised you,
I raked the leaves.
You raked the leaves. I saw that you did a very nice job.
Old choreboard.
I know, Jim. And well, as promised, your father, I'm a man of my word. So here you go. It's 5. Count them, 5 total. Johnson bucks, and Johnson bucks will at some point be valued at 1 Johnson buck for about 12 American dollars. Don't spend it all in one place.
Are you giving him money again? Are you giving Jimmy money again for doing what he's supposed to be doing?
Honey, these are a few extra chores. I believe that he deserves it this time. I think he needs to understand the value of money, and I think that right now is the proper age for him to handle it.
I think he should understand the value of doing what needs to be done when it needs to be done, how it needs to be done.
Oh, okay, Jimmy, why don't you...
Can I counter-propose that he isn't giving me money? At all?
What are you talking about, Jimmy?
Johnson bucks are real money, Jimmy.
I mean, how?
Didn't I just explain the exchange rate? 12 American dollars for 1 Johnson buck. What exactly have you not gone through arithmetic in class yet?
Well, I remember last year when you were starting to pay me in dad dollars, I took that to the store and I said every dad dollar is worth 2 American dollars and tried to buy something. And the clerk laughed at me and called me a dummy and said that my dad was tricking me and not paying me, and that I should accept only U.S. currency from now on.
Jimmy, are you making this story up? Because that doesn't sound very likely.
Wait, what part? That he wouldn't accept them, or that I'm telling you that he wouldn't accept them?
The whole thing, because everyone accepts your dad's bucks.
Yeah, they accept my bucks. That's how I, as you know, I work in the financing department of my office, and I constantly give people dad bucks, and nobody has ever said a word about it.
I mean, your paychecks go in dad dollars?
Yeah, I mean, unless they give me a bank account into which I can deposit the dad bucks, I just give them clean cash.
How do you think we pay for this roof over your head, Jimmy? Thoughts and prayers?
Are you paying for them now in Johnson dollars?
Yeah, it's all Johnson dollars generally.
Well, I don't know. How are you paying for this?
Your dad is paying with his hard-earned money, which is now the Johnson dollar. It used to be the dad bucks, but we had some issues, so he converted.
Can I just ask? I don't want to look. I'm just a kid, but I mean, what do you mean by hard-earned money? Do you get paid in Johnson dollars from your job?
I don't get paid to be your housewife or your mother, Jimmy.
Not you, Dad. I know you don't have a job, Mom.
Look, I generally will give part of my income to your mom in Johnson bucks so that she can do the grocery and she can get her hair done and whatever she needs. That does happen, but I suppose that's not officially a job. Officially, she is, a housewife and your mother, and you should respect her for that.
I do, but that's not the question.
This is a really hard job, Jimmy. Are you wondering why I'm getting paid for it? Is that what you're asking?
Are you getting paid for it?
Are you disrespecting your mother, Jimbo?
I don't think so.
It feels like you are. It really feels like you're disrespecting me.
Okay,
Jimbo,
I'm gonna
apologize to your mom.
apologize. I'm gonna go ahead and say I'm sorry because I'm not sure what I said or did, but I
Do you
feel
want
like
to eat mashed potatoes for dinner tonight or not?
I mean, kind of not. I don't really like mashed potatoes.
Jimmy, you see how he
What?
Goodness.
talks?
You always told me to be honest and not lie, and I'm not lying. Mashed potatoes are fine, but like, do I love them? No. I like fried potatoes or French fries or home fries or hash browns.
Fine, Jimmy, fine. I'll go take some of your dad's bucks or your Johnson bucks and go to the store and get you some French fries. Because that's how much I love you, Jimmy. That's how much I care about you. You don't care about me at all, but I care about you.
I do care, and I feel like this is an inappropriate time to ask this, but can I please go with you to see how this transaction occurs?
Oh, so now you want your own credit card. It's all about you, Jimmy. That's what you
God,
need in life,
Jim
isn't it?
Bone, what's wrong with you?
No, I would just like to see how the store clerk handles your Johnson dollars.
I am just completely surprised at the fact that you are questioning this entire currency system. I don't. I felt I was proud of you at the beginning of this conversation because you had done all these chores, and I was ready to give you your proper compensation. But now I'm not so sure. To be perfectly honest.
Cut to the grocery store trying to shop for groceries. All right, here's the total. Here's $152.33, all cash.
Uh, uh
Sorry, sorry. Yes, yes. Oh, thank you
sorry, I
very
was just
much.
gonna ask paper or plastic. Sorry, sometimes paper or plastic.
One of each, please.
Okay.
So, 100, huh? Thank you very much, Mrs. Johnson. Here is your change in 52 dad dollars.
Ooh, dad dollars. Do you have any more Johnson bucks?
No, I'm afraid we. Let me check the other register. Just a second. Oh, hi, Jimbo. You're here with your mom today.
Yeah, and I'm confused.
I'll be right back. I'll check one of the other cash registers. Just give me a minute.
Are you happy now, Jimbo? Now you get to see how transactions in America work these days.
Cut to the cashier going to the manager's office. How long are we putting up with this Johnson Buck BS exactly?
Look, he manages my money, and I'm not sure if it's a pyramid scheme or not. All I know is I'm getting a 10% return. So, as far as I'm concerned, this Johnson Buck thing goes until I lose money.
Okay, fine. Do you have 52 dad dollars? And scene.
Oh, I was gonna do a cut too.
Oh, sorry. I thought that was tight enough.
So, cut to Jimmy on his first date, trying to pay.
All right, and so we'll take the 2 milkshakes, and I'm gonna get 1 extra large cookie to split.
Oh, Jimmy, you're so romantic.
I know. I just look. You're so sweet. I know it's not as you're so much sweeter than these desserts, but I feel like it can only make you sweeter. So let me just get out my wallet and pull out 50 Johnson bucks.
Johnson bucks.
Mm-hmm. They're worth 12 American dollars.
What country is that from?
America.
No, the Johnson bucks.
Yes.
No, what are Johnson bucks?
Johnson bucks are an alternative American currency produced by my father, Steve Johnson. Paid to me for both excellent job accomplishing chores as well as keeping up my grades. And I even got a bonus this year because I got a scholarship for college.
This is written on a notebook piece of paper.
That's how you know it's valid, because anyone could just make photocopies. This is handwritten by Steven Johnson himself.
Is your dad one of those people that makes counterfeit money?
Oh, it's not counterfeit. It's real money. My mom buys stuff at the store all the time with Johnson bucks. He used to use dad dollars, but
Dad dollars?
Yeah, inflation or something. I didn't get the full explanation. I'm not a finance guy. My dad is, but yeah, so we had to go to Johnson bucks. But yeah, it's apparently worth a lot. He's really good at managing the currency exchange rate.
Do you have any American dollars? I don't think they're going to accept your Johnson bucks.
They will. Sir, here we go. We have all these things. I have, do you have change for 50 Johnson bucks?
Yes. We actually do have change for your Johnson bucks. Thank you very much, young man.
Jimmy, you're my hero. End scene.
Wow. I didn't see that working that way.
I did not know what to do with that.
I only wanted that to be like a 3-line button scene. That went on a bit longer than I was hoping.
It happened.
It's fine.
I didn't know where I was. I didn't know where to go with it. I was kind of off my game.
You can edit that one out.
Nope.
Bonus scene.
We don't edit. We don't edit on this podcast.
And it was a bonus.
I thought it was that whole paper and plastic thing was quite funny.
Well, I was trying to think of a reason to interrupt each other. And so if I did paper or plastic, it's like we both step on each other's toes. It's like, how's it going? And then I'm like, paper or plastic. Yes. I thought that was a clever recovery.
That kind of is how it works at least grocery store I always go to. They're always fighting to do something.
Yeah, so I thought it worked as a nice way of setting up Jose to be the cashier and why I interrupted.
Yeah, that was pretty funny.
I liked it.
Yeah, I think it worked out.
I think that scene was actually really good. I liked I loved kind of the like, how long are we going to keep this up? Like it actually is used. And then it's like, how long do we have to do this? This is insane.
Yeah, I was trying to scramble my brain. I mean, once we got to the grocery store, I was like, well, they have to accept it. There has to be a reason why they accept it.
Yeah.
Which is why I just decided to take it to the manager's office.
Yeah.
And maybe I thought that it was going to implode there, but you came up with a reason, so I was like, okay.
Yeah, I figured like, I don't know, he manages my money and makes so much that I just let him spend the $100 because I don't care. And it might not be legit because I like the idea. I was kind of going with the idea of like, if he's making his own currency around town, like, it might be a pyramid scheme and he's just kind of like embezzling or like conning people or like blackmailing them into taking his money that he made. So it kind of set the dad up from like a good guy into a criminal mastermind.
Which is Bison.
That's right. He is going to use whatever.
That's what Bison and his kid, that's their interaction.
Yeah. Nice.
So,
yeah.
I think that was tight. That was a tight episode.
I have nothing else to say about this movie. Just it's great.
Other than pay $2.99 to rent and watch it.
Yeah, don't watch the YouTube backwards version.
Yeah, I'm going to say, look, this is a weird opinion, but I'm going to stand by it. I don't recommend you watch the movie because you won't like it. But it is really fun to think and talk about it afterwards. So if you're willing to suffer through... By the way, this movie is an hour and 59 minutes. I don't understand what's happening. So... if you're willing to spend 2 hours of your life watching a movie that has so little to do with the source material that it's absolutely insane, I actually kind of, you won't regret it after. You will during. But I think after it's really funny.
Isn't there a updated version of Street Fighter coming out like this year, next year?
Is there? There was a second one that was out at some point, but I kind of.
I thought there was like a new version coming out.
There was another movie called. It was focused on Chun-Li, but it doesn't follow the storyline from this movie for obvious reasons. As for the game, I know that Street Fighter 5 came out recently, but I also don't follow it very well anymore.
There's a TV show in development.
Maybe that's what I was thinking. I don't know. There's something else to go along with the movie.
Yeah, it looks like there's a TV show that's getting made. Oh, wait, there might actually be a movie. Oh, that's got to be a movie. Street Fighter 2018.
Yeah.
Cast Dwayne Johnson as Guile, John Fu as Ryu, Dustin Clare as Ken, Kristen Kriuk as Chun-Li, Catherine Winnick as Cammy. So yeah.
So that's something to look forward to, I guess.
Was DJ actually a fucking character?
In the game, yeah, he's like this Jamaican fighter in the game.
Oh, is he the dance fighting guy?
Yeah, he's like a dancer. As you can tell from all the dancing and fighting that he did in this movie.
Capoeira.
Capoeira.
Here's my only question is, how the fuck is Dulcim, played by Jaimon Hounsou, who's not at all Indian? He is super African. I'm a little confused, but they have everyone in it again. Oh, okay, never mind, guys. I'm all in. We're going to do this movie. I am all in on this in the theater. Jean Reno is playing Bison. That's fucking amazing. He's from The Professional, by the way. Or Ronan, if you want to go on other action movies. But
coming attractions, I guess.
I'm in.
I wonder if this is going to be your new favorite movie, Jose.
Well,
version.
I don't know.
I trust.
He said about the magic that you see through a child's eyes.
Wait a minute. I have one critique to end this on.
One.
I'm going to ask Jose, and this is what determines whether this movie is good or not. Does JCVD in this movie indeed do the splits or not? He does not do the splits.
No, he doesn't actually.
He doesn't do the splits! This movie's garbage! Don't watch it! That's it. If he doesn't do the splits, it's not worth watching. That's what he does. Didn't do it. I solved it, guys. I solved it. Solved the mystery. This movie sucks.
Yeah.
0 out of 10. No splits. All right. Final thoughts, Shelley? Any other final thoughts?
Oh, this is a great movie to watch at the hair salon while my hair is being worked on.
It's probably why they made it. I feel like that was what they marketed it as.
Yeah, there are like people that go to the hair salon for hours will probably need a movie to keep them entertained. Street Fighter.
I can see that.
Sure to be a hit. I kept wondering, because I had my headphones in, obviously I was listening to it, and I kept wondering if my hairdresser was watching me watch it. Or watching the screen and wondering what the hell I was watching, because I didn't really explain much to her.
Yeah, and why is she watching this crazy shit that has no, like, that's backwards and zoomed in weirdly?
It's backwards, zoomed in. It's from 1994.
Yep.
I have no idea what she thought, but it got the job done.
That's right. All right, so we solved it, guys. Mystery solved. 0 out of 10. No splits. Jose, I'm sorry. Your comfort movie has no splits.
I understand.
You should choose Time Cop.
Hey, some people say potato.
I think Time Cop has the most extreme split of all of them. I mean, he goes like 190 degrees. It ain't just straight. He goes down. I don't know how his groin handled it. Check it out, guys. Time Cop, 190-degree splits. All right.
Wow.
This is TBE. This is Two Black Guys Podcast. Join us next time. Well, I don't know. We don't do these live. Maybe we will eventually. For whatever movie Cat picks. She might be next. I don't know.
I think it's Cat.
I'll check. Yeah.
Anywho, you can check us out. Facebook. I think Facebook might be Two Black Guys Podcast. I don't know. People yell at me for not knowing these offhand, but Twitter and Instagram are TBE Pod, TBE Pod, and send us messages or whatever. Tell a friend, and tell that friend to listen for more than 23 seconds. And also, you should listen for more than that. So listen to the whole thing, or at least just skip through to the scenes because those are fun. I actually think all of it's fun, or I wouldn't do it. So get off your ass and get on our podcast. I just made up a new catchphrase, guys.
Good one.
All right, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Farewell.
See you later.